This week, counselors, treatment centers, and those affected by eating disorders are drawing attention to National Eating Disorders Awareness Week, which is driven by the National Eating Disorders Association, or NEDA.
This year's theme is Come As You Are, Hindsight is 2020, which is encouraging people to reflect on positive steps that they've taken to accept themselves and others.
LEX 18's Alex Valverde has details in this story. It's new this morning on Sunrise.
It's a mental illness that affects people of all ages, of all backgrounds, and of all sizes.
Eating disorders are have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness, and over the last decade, even the rate of children under the age of 12 being hospitalized for eating disorders has risen 119%.
And that's why there's National Eating Disorders Awareness Week, to educate people and to push for proper help.
Just because we really probably more educated on anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. There's also several other types of eating disorders out there. Binge eating disorder. We have ARFID, which is avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. OSFED, so other specified feeding and eating disorders.
To help raise awareness, more than 100 buildings across the country are lit up in blue and green, including the Helix parking garage in downtown Lexington. The focus of this year's Awareness Week is reflecting on the positive steps people have taken toward recovery, a journey that isn't a straight line from point A to point B.
We can have setbacks and challenges, but how can we learn from those opportunities, and how can we use those opportunities as a time to grow and take that step forward?
But for those seeking treatment, the resources may not be there. Here in Kentucky, advocates are pushing to make sure help is available. Melissa Cahill is a supporter of Senate Bill 82, which would establish the Kentucky Eating Disorder Council in the Cabinet for Health and Human Services.
There are very few options to really none for many people, and the cost of treatment is exorbitant, and so there are barriers to treatment that we want to have removed and make it available to all Kentuckians.
Cahill says generally if people need a higher level of care, they have to go out of state. That's what happened when her daughter was diagnosed with an eating disorder 10 years ago.
A combined total of 2 years from the time she was 13, 14 years old till 23 that she spent out of state receiving life-saving care. So it's really important that this change.
So she fights, not only for her family, but for the thousands of people affected in the state. In Lexington, Alex Valverde, LEX 18 News.